Good morning, happy vlogmas, day 9. We're gonna get it today, guys. We're like not really gonna get it. Today's gonna be a chill day, but we're gonna get it. So I'm just over here, can I just for one, obviously you guys saw it, didn't have the best day yesterday. Like I said, a comment just like really effed me up and put me in a bad mindset. I almost said mind state. It put me in a bad mental state and mindset. I ended up puzzling. Oh, let me show you the puzzle. She is looking so freaking good. Oh wait, yeah, of course she looks good because I got the poster. Wow, I know I'm doing this in such a weird random way. I decided to put all of the dog breeds together first, like all of the words first, and then I've been doing miscellaneous dogs. So I did the Dalmatian. It looks a little random, but I swear I've got a purpose and a method behind it. Oh my gosh, I need to flip my pancake. Hold please. Haha, beautiful. I ended up puzzling and I made myself dinner, which was so freaking good. And I watched Monsters Inc. and then Monsters University. It was a great night. I loved it. And then at night, I went to go brush my teeth and I went into my master bathroom and I've been noticing a couple of ants here and there in my master bathroom. And I was like, this is weird. I wonder what's going on. But yesterday, when I went to brush my teeth at night, there were so many ants in my master bathroom and it was the worst. So I ended up calling pest control today. I have a company that does my termite control and all of that stuff on my house. And when they actually were originally signed on, they were like, do you want to sign up for quarterly pest control? We'll come out, we'll spray for ants, any other problems you have. And I actually do have other problems in this house. I don't know if I've ever explained this to you guys. There's a crawl space upstairs that mud daubers like to live in. Now mud daubers are not harmful and they're actually not bad to have. If I sign them on for this service, they'll come every quarter and they'll do general protection as well, or protection, whatever, as well as extermination if I need it. So then I can get that exterminated upstairs. I can get my bathroom taken care of. The reason I'm telling you guys this is because I had to call pest control this morning and be like, hey, yo, please help me because I don't want a ton of ants in my house. No. Oh wait, they're calling. Hold on. Hello? Good, how are you? So I noticed the other day that I had a couple of ants in my master bathroom. No, that's it. Thank you so much. Well, that guy was so freaking nice. I had to stop my pancake making because I had to set everything up with him. I got someone coming Friday at 9 o'clock doing a full treatment on my house, indoor, outdoor, asked about fancy, indoor treatment. I like what they do. It's not going to be harmful to her and whew, thank goodness. So they're coming every quarter to do treatment, prevention, and other stuff on my house, and then I can give them house calls whenever I want, and that's included within my plan. And since I am the only person living here now to have that taken care of, they said they deal with spiders. Even though, guys, I'm the type of person, I've never shared this before, I'm the type of person, if I see a spider in my house, I let it live. As long as it's not bothering me, I'm not going to harm another creature, but the ants that are in my bathroom, they're obviously bothering me, and if they're in other areas of my house and causing problems, we don't obviously want that. But yeah, no, I let spiders live in my house. It's probably something you guys did not want to know about me, but I'm just that type of person. I also washed my hair, haven't brushed it. That's why it looks a little crazy. I've put on real clothes the past couple of days, so I feel like it's only fitting that I go back to my biker shorts and a crew neck. This is what I live in. It's my absolute favorite thing to wear. But I have been using this mount for putting you guys on my mirror so that I have a better angle, and I don't know where, okay, wait, can you see that circle? It's very faint. There's a couple of circles there from my car mount. Or, well, it's not necessarily a car mount. It's just like a suction mount for your camera. And it's kind of annoying when I'm coming out of my closet because then I just see these circles. So I love the angle. I do not love the circles. Fancy girl though? You want to say hi? You have not been in today's vlog yet. Oh, you want to show them your bone? You're a good girl. Okay, goodbye. Books. That one was a good one. Obviously this one. This one was also good. What else do we got here? Wow, I just have books everywhere. I didn't love that one. This one, Health, the Yes, so good. Okay, let's see up here. Now this is where things get a little crazy. Okay, we gotta, let's see. What are these? The Happiness Project. That one's actually a good one. What else? Okay, I'm gonna include that one. I'm trying to get a thumbnail. Let's just do the friggin' book list. Let me organize these because some are for different situations. And I just want to start out with the basics. You know what? I'm just not realizing I should grab one other book. The very first self-help entrepreneurship book I ever purchased for myself was Girl Boss. I started reading this in early 2017. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I finished it March 2017. I used to mark all of my books with when I finished them. So some of these might be marked and I can tell you exactly when I read them. But this was the first of the personal development I want to be a girl boss books that I read. And this was from the founder of Nasty Gal. She ended up actually coming out with a series on Netflix where you can watch this play out in basically like one season on Netflix. So if you want to watch that, go ahead and watch that. But this was the first book I ever read. I would recommend this to you guys. It's a good book, but I wouldn't put it on like my top 10 in terms of personal development books you absolutely need to read type of thing. So if you are just now getting started and you're like, you know what, I want to change my life. I think that I can do more, I can be better, I can be more positive. For me, when I first got started with personal development, I was just in such a negative and dark place. I really hated everything about my life, and you guys would not recognize that girl at all. Like, I was so negative and I was just like down all the time, and I was in a really, really dark place. So I realized that there was kind of a fault within myself and that I just wanted to create a happier and better life for myself. So the first book I ever read was this one, Girl Boss. The next one I tried to read, I'm just giving you guys like the full story here, was this book, Make It Happen. You guys can see I still have the little bookmark in there. I never finished this book and I really should go back and read it. The reason I didn't finish it is because it talks a lot about religion. It talks a lot about God, and at the time I was very close-minded and I was like, I don't believe in this, so I can't read this book, and I didn't end up finishing it. And it wasn't until this is the first book that I'm actually going to recommend to you guys, okay? You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. This book truly changed my life. I have read through it, I think 3 times at this point. I love it so much, but it wasn't until this book that I realized that I could believe in the universe and I could believe in a higher power, and that doesn't mean that I have to believe in God, and I can still read or hear about people's beliefs and understand where they're coming from and connect them back to what I personally believe. And this truly changed my life. This book I have gifted to a lot of people. I have recommended that you guys read it. Like, I have talked about this book so much because it truly is just, it's written in an easy way that if you are just now getting started with personal development, it doesn't seem so like foo-foo-y type of thing. And I feel like that's like what a lot of people think when they're first getting started. So this one is absolutely amazing. Unfuck Yourself. I just finished this book and I wish that I would have read it sooner. I want to reread it just because I started it 3 months ago and then I put it down. I ended up finishing 2 books in the meantime, and then I picked it back up and just now finished it. So this one was really, really good. It's written by a man, if that has any like preference over you. Like, okay, here's the example. Girl, Wash Your Face. Great book. But she talks a lot about like being a mother and female problems and stuff like that. So maybe that's not something you can connect to compared to Gary over here. This book anyone can connect to, and this is kind of a kick in the ass motivation that you need. I don't know, these two, if I was going in order, guys, You Are a Badass is top, and then this one comes second. This one will open you up to just like thinking positive. And one of the things that I actually really got out of this book was a problem that you have with someone else. Like, if you are annoyed by someone else doing something, it's typically because of something within yourself. And that really opened up my eyes to realizing, whoa, I've got a lot of stuff going on in here that I think is like other people, but it's all about me type of thing. So I don't really know how to explain these, but if you are first getting started with personal development, self-help books, these 3, highly recommend. I will include affiliate links in the description bar down below to either Amazon or Target, because for some reason on Fuck Yourself, I couldn't find on Amazon. They had a Kindle version, but if you're like me, I like paper, and you guys will actually notice this one is the only one, isn't it? Yes. That still has the cover on it, you know, like the little wraparound cover thing. I like to take the cover off of them and just have bare books. It's personal preference. Next up, let's see, where do we want to go with this? If you guys know Marcus Johns, if you know Kristen Johns, I actually started following Kristen before I knew anything about Marcus, but turns out Marcus was one of the very first Viners, was like the most successful one at one point in time, and he is a content creator and just like a creative in general. And if you want to hear about like the whole process of building his brand or like growing his audience type of thing and the struggles he went through and some of his like creative ideas and actually executing those ideas and stuff like that, this is a really, really good book. It's also an easy read. I ended up getting through it in 3 days. So if you want a book from another creator that is going to motivate you and just like be a good, easy read, this is definitely one that I would recommend. Let's say you are at the point where like you care too much about other people's opinions, and I don't know, honestly, I think this book is so much more than just the subtle art of not giving an F. I think it's so much more than that. Like, I remember this book. Oh, that's a good way to put it. You are a badass if you learn based off of stories, like hearing people's stories, and then you can remember, oh, this was the story about the man while they were camping that they stumbled upon, type of thing. You know, like I remember this because of his one friend dying, and I remember certain lessons because of stories. This book is very much so lessons based off of stories. Now, if you have heard of Mark Manson before, and if you are looking at his 2 books, get this book. His second book did not even compare to this. This one was so good. And yes, it does talk about like not caring what other people think in a sense, but to me it was so much more than that. And I am such a terrible book reviewer. Like if I had just finished a book, then I would be really good at explaining it. But like now that I've read some of these books so long ago, like when did I read this? Let's see if I wrote down in it. January 25th, 2018. So it's been almost 3 years since I read this book. So good. This one, Big Magic. When did I finish this one? 2017. Wow, really? I should go back and read this. This one, guys, Big Magic. It actually has a really beautiful cover and stuff, but I took the cover off. This book talks a lot about creativity and how your ideas come to you. And you may not believe everything that she believes, but one of the things that I specifically took out of this book was not putting too much pressure on your creativity to make you money. And that's something that I did for so long. I put far too much pressure on my passion to make me money that I started to not really like it anymore. You know, like it was turning my passion into something negative, and that's not a good space to be in. But this one's not so much like personal development, change your life, be really positive. It's a lot about creativity, and I like that. Now we get into some of the advanced level of personal development. Okay, if you want to get started, you are a badass. Great place to get started on Fuck Yourself. Great place to get started. If you want to dive deeper, if you want to truly change your life, okay, I'm gonna start out with an easy one, and it's an easy one for me, but it may not be an easy one for a lot of you. Everything happens for a reason. Again, this one has a cuter cover, but I took the cover off. I am a big believer that everything does happen for a reason and that it has meaning. And there was a point in my life where if you would have asked me if there was something I could have changed, actually I did this, and I'm just like being really open and real with you guys. 2017, I had just moved up to Rochester, New York, and I was in a very bad space, and I was just trying to understand myself. I was really on a journey of like self-discovery and figuring out who I was and loving myself. And I did this little exercise type of thing where you had to ask yourself these questions rapid fire and just say the first thing that came to your mind. And one of the questions was, if you could go back and change something within the last 5 years, what would you change? And my gut reaction and what I said, and this like makes me so sad now because of what I'm going to explain. My gut reaction was, I wish I never would have joined that sorority. Because if you guys know my story, with my sorority, I ended up experiencing a lot of trauma years later on, and it ended up bringing me to a bad mental place. But all of that I know now happened because it's gotten me to this point that I'm at today. Like if I would have never joined that sorority, if I would have never gone through that traumatic event and just like been stripped down to my core, I would have never started the content bug. I would not be here filming this YouTube video for you guys. So like everything truly does happen for a reason, whether it is gosh awful and absolutely terrible. There is going to be a point in your life where I believe, now this is just my beliefs, I believe that you're going to realize, wow, that had to happen so I could get here today. And this book breaks down, I don't know how many reasons, 9 different reasons why things happen to you. And like I believe she's a psychiatrist. Do not quote me on this, guys. I read this book in September of 2018, so it's been a minute since I read this book. I think she's a psychiatrist, and she ended up doing a study to help figure out why things happen to certain people and the reasons and meanings behind all of them, and she ended up narrowing it down to 9 reasons why everything happens. I thought this was really good. So if you're at a place where you've maybe experienced some trauma and you've got a lot of resentment or anger and you can't forgive, like we were talking about in another vlog, this may be a good book for you. Rachel Hollis made it on my list twice, guys. And here's the thing. Do any of you remember when Rachel Hollis first came out and she was all over Target? Her books, like Girl Wash Your Face was all over Target, and then Girl Stop Apologizing was all over Target. And I was like, this girl is just like everywhere. I'm not gonna read her books. I'm not going to do it. Until I was in Rochester and I ended up meeting with an online friend, Nina. Hey, what's up, girl? I ended up meeting with her at a coffee shop, and she was talking about Rachel Hollis, and she was like, no, you seriously need to read her books because they're so good. So I started with her first one, loved it, ended up getting her second one. Her first one is the best. Her second one is still really, really good. They're just very similar in my opinion. So like if you're gonna get one, I would get Girl Wash Your Face. She recently came out with her book, Didn't See That Coming. This was right after her divorce. She got a lot of hate, and I know there's a lot of mixed feelings about Rachel Hollis and like monetizing her relationship and all of that stuff, and I get it. But when she came out with this book, obviously things were going down in my own relationship, and I was like, I need to read this. The last few days of my relationship, I read this in 3 days, and it was so effing good. You know, like this was just what I needed in that moment, and you have to be going through a really, really hard time to read this book. If you're not going through a hard time, you're not going to get anything from this, but if you are going through a hard time, this is going to be your kick in the ass to keep going, to not give up and keep moving. So Didn't See That Coming. I only recommend this to you guys if you are going through a really, really tough time in your life right now. I think this is helpful. And sorry I got emotional about that. It's just like bringing me back to like sitting in my bath for an hour and a half just reading because of some shiz, you know? It's good. We're good. Okay. The next 2 we are going to talk about. I'm going to save this one for last because this one, that one's the best. That one is the best. But this one, Get Off Your Butt. If you are living in your excuses right now and you're like, I'm doing everything right, but I'm not growing, and I know I like make fun of that type of thing, but I've been there, I've said that, and I see that so many freaking times. I'm doing everything right, but nothing's working. You're not doing everything right. There's always something more that you could be doing. Stop living in your excuses and get off your freaking butt and do something about it, you know, like change your life. And this is so, so good. I knew nothing about this author's story before I read this book, but it was absolutely amazing to read, and he can really connect with you, in my opinion. Like he said some things that just like reached into my soul, and I was like, oh, Cathrin, like you gotta face that, you gotta like get through that, and you gotta freaking get off your butt and start doing the work. So this is a good one if you are currently like living in your excuses and you need some motivation to keep moving. And then this is my all-time You Wanna Change Your Life book. This is it. Mastin Kipp, Claim Your Power. This book I read in April of I finished it in May of 2018. Yeah, that actually makes sense because I did read it. I started it in April, but it's a 40-day process. So this is a 40-day journey to truly changing your life. And I explain this like I was on an emotional roller coaster. I truly was. Every single day you read a part of the book, and it's actually broken out into, like, let me see if I can find a chapter. So it says day 12. And what is this? Discover your purpose. And then it obviously has reading and stuff that you do. And then it gives you steps. So step 1, breathe. Step 2, remember. Step 3, write it down. And step 4, step 5, step 6. And like you work through this. Like this is, you don't write in it, but it's kind of like a workbook. That's a 40-day journey to really claim your power. Honestly, I was an emotional wreck going through this book, but I uncovered so much about myself, so much that I was like letting myself live in my past trauma, and so much that I had just kind of like buried, if that makes sense. Like there's so many things in your past that I think we tend to just like overlook or push away or black out, and this really uncovered those things for me and helped me to realize why I was doing certain things that I was doing or why I believed certain things that I believed. I have been talking for 20 minutes about personal development books, but I'm hoping that you guys liked this list. I will include them in the description bar down below. That's the freaking book list, guys. That's the tea. So I'm pretty sure that filled up this whole entire vlog. I also checked, remember I was supposed to have something arrive yesterday that was really supposed to arrive a whole week ago that didn't end up arriving yesterday, and now there is no estimated delivery date. So I'm gonna go edit this vlog, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow for day 10. Bye guys. Hey, day 10.